Leon, you've had a couple days now to kind of digest what happened in the Stanley Cup Final. I know we asked you after the game, obviously a few minutes after the game ended. Now that you've had a couple days, can you kind of give us your assessment of, the final as a whole and kind of what happened?
Yeah, I mean, not much has changed regarding my comments, I guess. I think that obviously it's disappointing. There's two teams left playing, and you want to be the last team standing, and we didn't get that done for 2 years in a row, and that's obviously frustrating and disappointing. But I think that we probably just made it a little bit too easy for them, especially the last couple games. There's a couple mistakes that we made that we didn't get from them. It was never that easy. So something to learn for sure.
Leon, you look at this core of this group, and then if Connor resigns here for a lengthy term, do you see the core of this group with you and the other guys, and feel that you have an opportunity to keep kicking the can here and hopefully keep coming back, keep going on a run, and hopefully eventually a breakthrough?
I mean, yeah, that's the plan, of course. The plan is to, have runs like that over and over again, and hopefully eventually, the luck or whatever you want to call it is on our side, and we win. Obviously, it's 2 years where it's about as close as you can be. Lots of positives you can take out of this, but at the end of the day, there's one team celebrating right now.
Leon, how do you sort of equate your personal success? A strong argument can be made you were the best skater in the league this year, 33 points in the playoffs, but not ultimately get the sort of end team goal.
Yeah, that's always hard because obviously, especially with Connor and myself, we a lot of times we get judged off of our production, our points, our output offensively, but the only thing that him and I want is to win, and I can go through a playoff run with 12 points, and if we win, I'll be happy. And that's the same for everybody in our group. So it was a good year for me personally. I thought I was consistent. I played well, but at the end of the day, that turns into second.
Leon, when you go to Game 7 and lose 2-1 like you did last year, you feel like you don't have to get a whole lot better. Then you guys go through the West and you 5-game series, beat two really good teams, and you go into the Cup and we think, man, they're not just a little better, they're way better. Was Florida way better too this year than they were last year?
I think so. Yeah, I think they were. I think they were much better than last year, and they were good last year. I think it's a little bit of personnel, and I think again they just added another layer of maturity and calmness and I guess those two things are most important. But I would say that they were better. Yeah.
Leon, just back here, several months ago now, you made a really long-term, big commitment to this team. We all know the situation with Connor. What are the conversations like? How do you kind of talk to him about trying to make a similar commitment to this team?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really talked to Connor about it yet. There comes a time where we talk about it, but there's nothing that I can tell you right now that you want to hear or you need to hear. That's his situation, and he will do what's best for him and his family. And do I want him here forever? Yes, of course. I think everybody does. There's not much I can give you there.
Hey, Leon, this is the oldest team in the league, and you've been there twice, and you got very close. Is there still a lot of runway left, or is time a factor in this thing?
Well, I don't necessarily think time is. Time is always a factor, but our core is not old. Our core is probably in the prime right now, in terms of maturity and experiences and all those things. So we were an older team. Oh, God. Got up early. There you go. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Pay you guys after. Where were we? Yeah. We were an older team. Do we need to get a little bit younger? Maybe a little bit faster, maybe. But I think our core group is at an age where, we got a lot of juice left. So hopefully we can, continue to, kick away at it.
Leon, this year, and I know you've talked about it a lot, you mentioned it, the points you're going to score points, that's what you do, but you've made a real conscious effort to improve your defensive game, and I think the numbers showed it this year. Where did you feel you made the biggest improvement in your two-way defensive game this year?
I think it just the consistency and the patience part of it. I always knew that, when I truly put my mind to it, I can defend really well. And I think there's times in the past where I've showed that. This year, I did it pretty much every single game. And so I think the consistency part, and then just sticking through a certain process a little bit longer.
Now, I know you don't have decision on this because you're the player, but when Paul Maurice and the Panthers lost in 23, he mentioned that Barkov and Tkachuk, when they're together, they're great, but our team's better when they're on separate lines. And for the most part, they are. They load up every now and then. You and Connor are kind of similar. And Knobloch said he feels you're better at center, not that you're bad with Connor. Do you think for the long-term success, majority of the time that you two have apart, that's the nuclear option? Because now you're going to be on the ice with one of the best players more often as a team.
Yeah, I think ideally we want to be driving our own lines, and we did for the most part this season. I think that Connor and I obviously play extremely well together. So I think it's hard for coaches sometimes to look at their bench and be like, how can I not throw them out there together? How can I not give it a try, especially when you're chasing or when you need a goal or something. So in the long run, we've always said, I think driving our own lines is best, but I think it's something that, you just have to go to every once in a while.
Leon, you talked about Florida. You've now lost the champion 4 years in a row. Has that caliber of opposition pushed your team to play better hockey each year? Do you think your team is playing as good a hockey as it's ever played?
Yeah, for the last couple of months, other than the final series, I don't think we ever really got to our a really good game. So, but it certainly pushes you to be a great team, right? You want to beat these teams. You want to be in the ring with these guys, and I think we've done that. Another thing that pushes us, obviously, is just wanting to win. Actually being the last team standing. So.